Ladies and gentlemen, we have a very special treat for you today on the HammondCast show. I'm sitting here with one of my very favorite musicians. He's got a long career and has played a lot of great music all over the world, and he's an NEA Jazz Master Award recipient. I'm sitting here with Chico Hamilton. How you doing today, Chico?
I'm doing the best I can.
Yeah, man. Well, you look fantastic, and I've been loving your music for a long time. And of course, I'm a musician myself, so I know some of the cats. You played with so many cats, and all over the world. You're a real world traveler, and besides being known as a great drummer, you have been a band leader for so many years, and that's a very special assignment, and so you've been responsible for launching the careers of a lot of cats for so many years. So thank you very much for coming on our show. I really appreciate it. So have you been traveling or staying home these days?
Well, first of all, I teach.
Mm-hmm.
I teach at the new school. I started the jazz program there about 20 years ago.
Right.
And I received my doctorate last year.
Oh, congratulations.
Yeah,
wow.
Thank you.
That's beautiful.
But we still play. I have a fantastic group. We've been together quite a while. And right now, as a matter of fact, we're going to be doing, we do all the Borders stores all over the country. So
wow.
We do a 45-minute set and interview, and they buy my records.
That's beautiful.
Which is cool. But, I got to tell you something, John. I've never played what's that festival you guys have out there?
Oh, in California?
Yeah.
Well, they got the Stanford.
No, the one, what's the big one?
Oh, the Monterey, yeah.
I've never been invited.
Really?
Never been invited to come out there and play.
Well, that's Dr. Rob Cleven. We're going to have a word with the doctor. Because, when you think of jazz, you think Chico Hamilton, so they're really missing the boat when they haven't had you there.
Well, let me just say God is good. God is good to me because I'm still here. And, man, I'm lucky to be anywhere at this stage of the game. And I'm still playing. I'm still making me. I don't play. I make music. God has enabled me to make music. So
right.
And I can play anywhere at any time. And I play my own music. I don't have to play anyone else's. That's my reward.
That's a real beautiful gift, And Chico, you've been cutting edge for so many years. I believe your first outing as a leader was about 1955.
That's correct.
Yeah, and then you had some very unconventional instrumentation in some of your combos. You had Mr. Katz on cello. You were one of the first jazz band leaders to bring the cello into the jazz music, and that was really great. And then you were, of course, in several movies, Sweet Smell of Success, and with Fred Astaire,
Yeah, let me tell you, before the original quintet, I had the original trio record, which was recorded for Pacific Jazz, and this was the first time that a bass, guitar, and drum were the featured instruments, solo instruments, as opposed to just being in a rhythm section.
Mm-hmm.
It was Howard Roberts and George DeVivier and myself.
Oh, wow, yeah, Howard, smoker.
Tell me about it.
Yeah.
George DeVivier.
And George, yeah. Wow, that's
It was
beautiful.
fantastic.
Yeah, you discovered so many cats. I mean, I'm sure you had a lot of feelers out there, but you also, your own ears, you recognize young talent, because some of these cats didn't have the track record that you had right away, and you put them right out there. What comes to mind is, I came out here from California. I grew up in the Bay Area, so I came out around the same time as a couple of friends of mine from the Bay Area, and you launched Barry Finnerty and Alex Foster and Arnie Lawrence. I believe did you have two altos on that band?
I sure did.
Yeah. So Barry got here, and 2 weeks later, you had him at the Montreux Jazz Festival.
Barry Finnerty was a fantastic player. Probably still is. And Alex Foster, needless to say, has become a giant.
Absolutely, yeah.
And unfortunately, Arnie Lawrence passed away.
Yeah, I know. I really miss Arnie.
Yeah. Well,
in fact, the last time I saw
the school, Arnie and I started the school together.
Right, that's right. The last time I saw you, we were at the Beacons and Jazz Awards ceremony, and downstairs Bill Cosby was officiating, and that's when Mayor Dinkins declared it Cab Calloway Day, you know?
Yeah.
And of course, you played with a lot of guys like Cab and Lionel Hampton, Billy Eckstein, you know, and you know, who were some of the before you became a band leader in your own right, who were some of the band leaders that you enjoyed playing with the most?
Well, I started off in L.A. being, you know, I reached a point where I was maybe one of the number one drummers in the whole entire city. That's number one. But I did a lot with Floyd Ray, you know, and which was a local band, and Joe Wilson.
Yeah.
And just all the groups, bands that were playing at that time. And I was all over the place. I did a lot of work for Billy Berg, you know, before he became real famous. But my biggest thing at that particular time was the fact that I could brush. I could keep good time. I could get in the pocket, right?
Right.
And the singers dug me. So I spent about 18 years, man, 18 years playing for nothing for singers. I was with Lena Horne 8 years.
Wow.
Lady, you know, the concert Lady Sings the Blues, that was me.
Wow.
Billy Eckstein, Tony Bennett.
Wow.
You know, Danny Kaye, Sammy Davis.
Yeah, well, you've always had great dynamics. I think maybe that's why some of the singers dug you, because you never overpower the vocalist. You're always with the dynamics right on the money.
I tell you, doing that, playing for singers, taught me how to play for the instruments. That's the way I back up my instrumentalists who play, you know?
Yeah.
Plus the fact, it leads me to, I've never used a keyboard. I don't use a keyboard because I'm the keyboard.
Ah, interesting.
You dig?
Oh, that's a wonderful concept.
I've always used guitar. I use guitar and Fender bass for the sustaining power. The ability for those two particular instruments to sustain a chord or sustain a note.
Right. I love that stuff you did with Jim Hall. That's beautiful. Yeah.
It's dynamite.
Yeah. Well, over the years, the drums themselves have evolved so much, you know. So we have a lot of drummers in our audience, you know. And, you know, speaking to the drummers, you're like, when you go on a gig today, you know, and you have a rider or however you order the equipment that they're going to have there waiting for you, what's your preferred set for a gig today?
I have my own. I got a homemade set. See this little set here?
Yeah. What is that, a 16-inch bass can there?
Yeah.
Wow.
Well, I have two of them. One I take out and let's use here.
Nice.
And
looks like a very special snare drum.
Oh, everything, you know. As a matter of fact, every time somebody hears it, they want to buy it. It's a homemade set.
Wow.
I bought the bass drum out of the tom-tom out of the pawn shop.
What have you got to say to our listeners on KYOU?
KYOU, I owe you, man. As a matter of fact, you owe me.
That's right, Chico.
You owe me a play, right?
Right on.
Right. KYOU. Keep it together. Keep John together.
All right. Thanks a lot, Chico. You're the man. All right. Great, man.